Hi guys and welcome, and you are in intelligent food, and that is nutrigenomics, cellular nutrition. Nutrigenomics is literally the science of human nutrition and health, and how your body, brain, cells, systems, organs respond to a specific food at a biological level. Amazing stuff. Talk about let food be thy medicine, guys. Oh my goodness. Literally, each gene reacts to single food compounds at a particulate level, the smallest level. How that happens and what happens to the gene and how it's expressing itself when we put these different foods in is just mind-blowing. The impact that macro and micronutrients have on our genome. The genome is all of the different genes put together, is powerful information. It's a health enhancing or health eroding. Super important that if we're wanting to regenerate cells, if we're wanting to get cells to do a certain thing like reduce inflammation or regenerate themselves very, very quickly if we've been very unwell, or digestion cells, we want them working optimally, then we need to be thinking about what we're doing with macro and micronutrients. What food compound and combinations can cause cell mutation, inflammation, damage and disease and rapid aging, and which compounds and combinations do not? What creates cellular recycling, apoptosis, which is programmed cell death? What programs genes to express themselves in an anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, antiviral way? These are the things that nutrigenomics shows us, and it is super exciting information to have. How food impacts your cells, your genes and your DNA, and your ability to heal, regenerate and optimize your performance. That's literally where we are with nutrigenomics, guys. It's just a mind-blowing new area of science. And if you haven't heard the word before, don't freak out. It's very, very new. Nutrigenomics came at the tail end of the Genome Project in the 1990s. And then as we moved into 2000s, we started to see at the back end of that mapping of the human DNA sequencing, and that literally lifted the lid on eating for our DNA, eating for our gene expression and epigenetics. So it was amazing time for me, because I've been practicing this professionally for a very long time. So to see this area become mainstream science has been wonderful for me. We can look at the cause of cell damage, disease, aging and mutation, including allergies, right? And we can understand where they're coming from food, how to flip that on its side by combining foods in a different way to promote health, all right, and healing instead of cellular damage. We can see the effects of exposure to specific foods and what they have on the body, especially when it comes to things like migraines, inflammation, mutation, cancer. And we can, through knowing what those foods are, we can take action, to remove those foods or to include those foods in order to counteract some of the damage that has been done. Prevention, the number one thing that I love using nutrigenomics for. Why would you not want to use food for prevention and also reversal of genetic predisposition? So knowing the genetic predisposition of certain things like a BRCA gene, breast cancer gene, MTHFR gene variant, or autism is amazing information to have, because what you can then do is change nutrigenomically what you feed that person, and we can prevent those genetic markers from actually being activated. So it's a fabulous thing to know. And we can look at all different aspects of cell mutation, both natural and epigenetic manifestations. Epigenetically is environmentally, so we would be looking at what foods actually attack gene expression and removing them. EDCs, endocrine disrupting chemicals, and genetically modified food. We want to take them away because we know that they have a negative impact upon your health and what your cells are doing. radiation, and so on. And so all of these things we're going to be eliminating and focusing on, and for you to increase your understanding of them as we move through. All right, so empowering you, it's part of your power. You know, how nutrigenomics empowers your life. Nutrigenomics lets you pinpoint the parts of your diet that will have the most impact on your health, and it can reduce disease risk factors and optimize gene expression. And we'll be using it not only to regenerate cells through autophagy, to increase the voltage of the mitochondria, and to program through apoptosis cellular death, then reprogram neuropeptides, and then start to work on using nutrigenomics to break down cellular debris in the kidneys and in the liver as part of the flush. So your nutrigenomic approach, your biohacking using nutrigenomic recipes specifically to drive outcomes, it is going to be a blast. And my recipes always taste good. I have put down in each recipe exactly what that food combination of that recipe will deliver, what the combination does at a gene level. So it'll be really good for you to start looking at that. Now, when it comes to the recipes, you've got a recipe book, you've got a menu plan where I have suggested certain, recipes for you to take on certain days. What I would strongly suggest, however, is to stick to the times. What we know scientifically is if we're going to change the circadian rhythm, we're going to change your body clock. We're going to make sure your body understands we're running a different program now. All right, then it needs to be able to predict when you're going to have your fast break. So when you're going to take the celery juice, when you're going to eat this, when is your main meal going in, when are you going to be walking. If it can predict all of these things because you are doing it over and over and over again at the exact same times pretty much, then you're going to be having the energy you need to drive optimal outcomes delivered by your body in the right place at the right time every single day. All right, so important. We're using many modalities from nature. The circadian rhythm is one of them. And to get you online with that, timed eating is key. Intermittent fasting is key. Nutrigenomics is key. All right, and sticking to those nutrigenomic recipes. Don't start getting creative, and taking that out and throwing a bit of this in. Follow the recipes. This is science, guys. All right, the recipes will only work when you put the right combinations together. You've also got a food and mood journal and other documents that are going to be dropped in over the coming days and weeks for you to fill in and become aware yourself of what nutrigenomics is and the impact it can have on optimizing your health, well-being, and life. Ciao, ciao for now. See you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.